Finn is next to me. He's licking the air, so sorry. I haven't done an intro on YouTube in a minute. I mean, I'm filming from home today, so I feel like I can really get away with whatever. Hello, little bookies. I love you. I can really do whatever I want to do. This episode, girl, listen, honey, if you give me a glass of wine and tell me to rant, I'm not going to shut up for a full hour, and that's exactly what this episode is. Really, it's just kind of like sitting on FaceTime with me. I'm catching you up. I'm giving you literally all the tea. All the tea about Revel Culture Boutique. What happened, how it started, what happened in the middle, what are some of the sketchy things that I was like, about, and why we are no longer doing it, why I'm no longer a part of it. I will say, if you are one of the sweetest little, like, few hundreds of people that downloaded the app, please delete the app. Please delete the app. Unless you want to keep it and shop on the app. I'm not saying don't support Mike and Sarah. Those are the partners that I worked with. That's who I'm calling them now. I'm not saying don't support them, but I myself am no longer a part of it. I'm gonna let you come to your own conclusion, whatever you want to do. At the end of this episode, you want to keep it, you want to shop on it, that's fine. Me personally, I'm gonna delete it because it's in the past. It is not in the past. I'm ready to move on from it. I'm no longer associated with it. They don't sell anything on the site that I would want to buy. That would be cheeky and cutie in my closet. They would not be a cutie little addition to it. And also, I just don't want to be. I just want to like move on. I just want to move on from it. You know what I mean? I do wish them the best. I hope that they're super successful. I know this is exactly what they want to do, and this is the route that they're taking. I am just no longer aligned with that route whatsoever. My train is going that way, and I'm very happy about it. So I wish you well. But yeah, if you're keeping the app and thinking like, oh, well, even just visiting the website or whatever and thinking like, I'm helping Alisha, I'm supporting Alisha, I promise there's no hard feelings. You are not supporting me anymore. I am no longer affiliated with that boutique. It's not even called Revel Culture Boutique. The app still says it because they need to change it. I don't know if they're going to be able to, which is crazy. But it's not even called Revel Culture Boutique app anymore. So please feel free to remove that. Anyways, so for a whole hour, I'm going to sit here and I'm going to yap with you guys about that whole entire journey and, you know, get some feelings off of my chest, get a little ranting done, get a little yelling, maybe crash out. Who knows? I'm just kidding. But just sit here and talk to you guys and catch you up because that's really what's important. Y'all need to be caught up. So welcome to the episode. Grab yourself a glass of wine. I'm so serious. It's a long one, but it's a good one. It's just going to feel like you're chatting with your best friend on FaceTime and hearing all the crazy shit that has been going on in her life for the past 4 months that you were like, you guys haven't talked in 4 months. So you're like, what the fuck? All the shit. Okay? So get comfortable, relax, enjoy whatever you're drinking. Cheers. I love you and I'm so glad that you're here. And let's get into this episode. This is Revel Culture. My name is Alisha Revel. I am the girl who laughs in the face of danger and does what scares her anyway, no matter how nervous it might make me or how much overthinking I'm gonna do afterwards. I am here to give you the big sis advice you guys always ask for. I am known for seeing the silver linings and cracking a smile on every single person's face that I know. I take pride in that. Revel Culture is a space to explore new perspectives, to grow, to embrace yourself, flaws and all, and most importantly, to laugh. So grab yourself a drink and let's revel in the highs and lows of life together. Woo! Tea. Girl, hold on, before we get started. What the fuck? I'm literally making the mic spike right now. I'm so sorry. Look, the way the bars on my little screen right now are like, I'm gonna back it up. But you guys, we're getting so serious in this episode. So serious, babes. That was terrible. That's the worst British accent I've actually ever done. Be quiet. I need you to hear this ASMR. Do you know what that means? It means shit's about to get real. Okay, I literally have the entire bottle of wine. Here's what I'm drinking. It is called Piero Pan. So that's Finny. By the way, Finny is right next to me. You can't see him in the video because I zoomed in a little bit, but and he won't get closer to me. I don't know why. He's a very sleepy boy, and I think he's about to keel over and get into position, which will be closer to me, but right now he's just kind of like zoned out. Suave Classico 2023. It is a dry white wine. Let me taste it. Very smooth. It's dry, but it's still subtly sweet. I don't like anything that's too sweet anymore. It hurts my stomach like a motherfucker. This one is honestly one of the best white wines I've had in such a long time. This is what we're starting off with tonight. This is what I would probably be finishing that bottle tonight, and there was more than half of wine in that bottle. So join me, okay? Because we are getting into it. I'm going to tell you guys what I've been doing for the past, since March, I believe. It's been such a long time. I don't want my computer to die. It has been such a long time. And if you're wondering why there hasn't been a podcast episode in the past 4 months, this is why, okay? I have been so unbelievably swamped. And this whole thing that I added to my little cart, if you will, adds to cart, I'm now unsubscribed from, thank God. But it was taking over everything. So, oh, Finny's getting situated. Oh, this is squishy, yeah. I really... sorry, I just burped. I really hope he starts to snore because it's really cute when he does that. But I'm going to tell you guys about the boutique, the clothing boutique that I was a part of. I don't want to say I cannot not say that I started because I definitely was a part of it from the get-go. But let's get into that a little bit. This boutique, if you have not seen any of the vlogs on YouTube, then it kind of came out of nowhere. Okay? And you're like, what in the hell is happening? I know it seemed like a clothing line. And at first I was calling it a clothing line because I simply didn't know what else to call it. What? See, this is why you can't be nice to me. It's too ADD for you to do bookie bookie. He's giving me the eyes. I'm scratching his back right now in the spot. And it seems like it came out of nowhere, which granted, it happened so utterly fast that I didn't even realize we were ready to go. And so my partner, who is no longer my partner, we are no longer together working in business together, looked at me and said, we're ready to launch. Can we start next week? And I was like, oh, shit. Okay, yeah, let's do it. So what had happened was back in March, maybe it's May. I think I've got my end months mixed up, but it's been, I'll say the beginning of the year, okay? Closer to the beginning of the year, the bookie, I ran into... Should I change names? Okay, so I am going to change names just because. So I'm going to call him Mike. Let's see. I run into Mike. Hold on. As I'm leaning away from my mic. I'm sitting on my shirt weird and it's pissing me off. Okay, I run into Mike at a wine opening. And this is an old casting director of mine. So for the lore, I know some of you guys don't know this because you're very, very new here, but I still am an actress. I'm just so busy with influencing and I truly love my job. This is basically me being able to star in my own cutie little show that I get to write and direct and all the things, but I still absolutely love acting. If someone was like, would you want to be in this commercial? It would be an immediate yes. There's no question asked, whatever. I no longer have an agent simply because I wasn't even going to auditions anymore. It was kind of a waste of time, but I was represented for over a decade. I have been in TV shows, indie films, not any kind of big time movies by any means. This is all not ancient history, but definitely a past life of mine. Am I to say, am I going to sit here, look in your eye and say that I'm done with acting? Absolutely not. There will probably very soon come in another era where I re-sign with my agent, update my headshots and get right back in there because I love it so much. But in the meantime, it's not the thing that I'm focusing on. So when I moved to Austin back in 2015, I moved here. One of the main reasons why I moved here, was because this was where the acting scene was popping off. I'm telling you, everything was filmed here. If you guys remember the show The Leftovers on HBO, that was filmed here. I mean, you could think, there's other shows that were filmed here. Austin is like the little Hollywood of Texas, if you will. I came down here for my little career. Of course, when you're an actress or acting, whatever, if you're going to auditions multiple times, you're going to be seeing the same casting directors again and again and again, especially if you get a callback and then another callback. Then you're seeing them again and again and again. So this is someone that I've seen like 200 times in my life being here in Austin. So I haven't seen him in a few years, definitely since COVID hit the fan. No one was doing auditions back then type of thing. No one was really, everything was on hold. Writer strike put everything on hold as well. So it's been a few years. But I recognized him instantly. I'm like, oh my God, what are you doing here, Mike? he's like, what are you doing? He was like, what are you doing now? And I said, well, I'm an influencer. And he was like, I'm looking for an influencer. And I was like, T, what the hell you want to do with an influencer? Like, what do you want? And he pitched this idea to me. He said, okay, there's this thing. Have you ever heard of QVC? And I'm like, yes, of course I've heard of QVC. He's like, it's like that, but it's for your phone. It's for an app. You basically do these lives and you sell clothes or jewelry or shoes or anything really, and people will comment what they want and you sell it. They buy all the things, you buy it. And it's just like you hopping on lives and being in the palm of people's hands instead of on the TV screen, which is what QVC is. And you guys, you can't even hop on TikTok without seeing people doing that. So I've heard of this and I'm like, oh, okay. Now granted, I think it's more popular towards the end of this year than it was at the beginning of this year when he's telling me about it. It's definitely popped off since like over the summer. It's definitely popped off. I see like Mandy MUA doing it, Laura Lee, all the little people, not the little people. I was gonna say little girlies, but Mandy's not a girly. Sorry. I love you, Mandy. He's one of the girls. Anyways, I see all my people doing TikTok lives and selling brushes and all the things. Like that's just a thing. So the idea was there and I'm like, oh, absolutely, I could do this. He said, I know a buyer, basically the person that he works with in California, and one of her influencers, for like lack of a better term, is, I don't even want to say her name, but she does amazing. And she absolutely does amazing. She's literally like a mommy blogger, in her 40s maybe. I think she's got 2 or 3 kids. So she could sell like kid sweaters and stuff like this. She looks like one of those chic little soccer moms that just kills it. She makes 6 figures a month doing these QVC lives on the phone. It's called Comment Sold. That's like, by the way, if you're wondering, that's what the platform is. So you can get on the website. You can even get an app made, which is what we did, but I'll get to that in a second. And so I'm like, wow, 6 figures a month. I was like, that would be absolutely incredible to do. And you put me in front of a camera, like I'm Gucci. This is actually what I was born to do. Hold on, let me drink. You know what I mean? Like I'm a natural at this. I love doing this. So I'm gonna set this down. So yeah, I was like, okay, well, let's discuss it. We get to talking about it. I looked this girl up, okay? And I'm like, hey, this is a good idea, truly, but there's no way in hell I'm going to be selling to my followers what she's selling. No tea, no shade, okay? But it is Facebook mom type of shit. Sorry, I'm really not trying to be rude here, but it's just not my cup of tea. And the people that follow me, it's not gonna be their cup of tea either. It might be a small percentage, but it's not the majority. The majority of my followers are like cutie little baddies. We love Desi Perkins. We love Zara, like that kind of stuff. We want to see cute, classic, classy, elegant, not like a crew neck sweater with hearts all over it that you would find your, mom in the carpool line wearing. Literally no tea, no shade. It's just not for us, right? So if I am able to pick the clothes that go on my boutique, we're putting my name on it, I'm down to do this. So we work up a little 3-month contract and he's like, let's just see how it goes for 3 months and da-da-da-da-da. And I was like, perfect, let's do this. Now, the pros, okay, the pros that I was thinking of for this boutique is I've actually always wanted a clothing line, okay? I've always wanted to do denim. If you know, you know. I've talked about wanting to do a denim like Good American before Good American happened. Because when I had my blog, I literally have lived so many fucking lives. But when I had my blog, chocolatesmyvice.com, it wasn't just recipes that I was doing. I was also doing clothes and like Nordstrom anniversary, little cute little sales and stuff like that. And I always found and focused on denim that fit me because I can't sell a pair of Levi's if it doesn't even go over my butt. You know what I mean? And so finding denim that was stretchy, but not like Fashion Nova quality, you know what I mean? Nothing like that, like cheap and feels like it's gonna disintegrate in the washing machine. Something that was like high quality and stretchy, but had no gap in the waist and fit over the curves and even gave you a little cute little butt lift and like, you know what I mean? All the things. That's what I've always wanted to do and would have put my name on it. Then Khloe Kardashian comes out with Good American and was just like, chef's kiss. Of course, if it's gonna fit her ass, it's gonna fit mine, period. You know what I'm saying? Like, girl, be for real. So the fact that has blown up, I'm actually wearing Good American right now as I'm sitting here talking to you. The fact that has blown up makes me so genuinely happy, but it's still kind of on my heart to have my own cheeky little denim line. That's just what I kind of want to do, you know? But hey, I digress. Talking about a clothing line, always wanted to do it. Let me make sure we're still recording. We are still recording. So I thought, hey, even if this doesn't do well, like even if this is a fail, which would suck, but even if it was, I'm going to be able to know how to run a clothing line, how to start a clothing line, how to design, how, like who to know, da 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 da. I didn't understand how it was going to happen, but I had these goals in mind. Like I thought, I'm going to figure it out and I'm going to actually be shown how, because here is someone, Mike, who already has this game plan and knows how to do it. And he also has buyers and designers that he knows. And I want to be in contact with them too so that I can learn, right? So I already knew. I was like, this is Gucci. This is going to be a win-win even if I fail. You know what I mean? So also, wait, pause. Also, if I'm able to make 6 figures a month, now did I think that did I say 6? Yeah, 6 figures. Did I think I was going to do that in 3 months? No, but maybe if we did it for a year, maybe it would pop off. And I was like, let's fucking go. However, that did not happen. Spoiler alert, not at all whatsoever. But I was thinking, I mean, at the very least, maybe $5K a month, you know, a little side hustle. That was my hopes, is it would be a very cute little side hustle. Yeah. Whew. The way. I feel like I should answer these questions because I feel like the questions are going to come up, and if I don't address them, they're just going to come up anyway. Mike was willing to front all the money for this stuff, which I was like, okay, this is amazing. And he said we could split it 50-50. And I was like, this is okay. I'm down to do 50-50. Then at first, though, I did say, hey, like, you want me to do 3 to 4 lives a week. And I'm already, this is like dead ass, you guys, this is a full ass time job. And mind you, this is when I'm doing my podcast. I'm going to the studio weekly to record podcasts. So I'm doing full-time YouTube. I'm doing full-time podcasts. I'm doing full-time reels. Like this is, if you know, full-time job. So now I'm like, okay, now I'm going to do full-time lives. I think after we break even, you know, after the 3 months, it should be 60-40. And I should be doing the 60, you get the 40, because I already knew how much work it was going to be. Now, did I have a full understanding of it? No, not yet. And we'll get to that in a second. But I knew it was going to be a bitch. So he said, okay, yeah, after 3 months, we can touch base and we can talk about that. And I was like, cool. So, but at the beginning, 3 months, 50-50. So he explains it like this. He's like, we also had, so it was me, Mike, and then we'll call her Sarah. She was customer service. She helped put the website together. I gave her photos. She put things together. She did some work on Canva, and it was cutie, it was cheeky, but she's a little bit, again, no tea, no shade. She's a little bit older. So the things that she was creating on Canva is something that you would see like your mom do for a Facebook ad. That sounds so bad. It's just not my aesthetic. So for me, I was like, whoa, we cannot put that on the Instagram. Like, no, because you're going to ruin this entire like feed, this curated feed that I've tried to build. So delete, like archive. What are you talking about? And then also she did a caption once and she had ChatGPT write it. And she copied the whole thing, and it copied like ChatGPT says, or ChatGPT replied. And then that was in the caption. I was like, Sarah, like, can we edit? And then she boosted it as an ad, and you can't edit an Instagram post after it's been boosted. So I was like, girl, like this looks a little bad, you know what I'm saying? Poor sweet girl. She's got the talent for doing all that stuff. It's just not my aesthetic. I was showing her like Desi, the sunglasses. I was showing her Jess Hunt and Refi, and I'm like, this is the vibe. This is what I'm gonna try to do. This is what we need to try to do, because this is what the girlies who follow me, this is what we are drawn to. I'm also gonna do something that I am in love with, that I look at and I'm like, this is my, and I'm proud to show off, like, this is my Instagram. This is my website. You see what I'm saying? So if it doesn't have my stamp of approval on it, then I don't want to post it. And that's just what it is, you know? Anyways, so sweet Sarah was trying, and she is talented. It just wasn't the right vibe for me. So he goes, okay, so I'm going to pay our buyer. I'm going to pay, we need to pay the warehouse. We need to pay the employees that work in the warehouse. We need to pay Sarah. But what's going to happen is when we make the income, I'm going to split it with you 50-50. And then for my 50, I'll pay Sarah. I'll pay the buyer. I'll pay the warehouse, and you get to keep your 50. And I was like, okay, Mike, how are you making a profit then? And he goes, oh, I'm not. I'm investing in you. But eventually I will make a profit when you start to take off. And I was like, oh, okay, sounds great. This is where the story starts to go a little bit south. Because up until now, even I had high hopes. And it wasn't, we started August 6th. This is when we started. We launched a website. We did our first live. We sold like $1,500 in one night, which is pretty good for a small business. Mike and Sarah were over the moon. They were so excited, and I was excited as well. Give it another 2 weeks, our sales start to drop. Like, we didn't really have anything new in stock, and you live and you learn. I think I did pick out some good options, but there were other things that didn't sell that blew my mind. I had no idea why they weren't selling. But I think, to be honest, they weren't selling because the price was so fucking high. And I want you to know, like I said, this is where things start to get sketchy. I told them and asked them time and time again to lower the price. I was not in charge of setting the prices, by the way. Otherwise, they would not have been so expensive. But like the blazer set, the vest and trouser set, these are like timeless pieces, okay? That you're gonna wear year after year after year. And I was so confused as to why the fuck the trousers weren't selling. The blazer barely even sold out. It took like 3 months to sell it out. And I was like, for what? The denim too? Now that one I might understand a little bit more because I have had my cousin, I've had my best friend Alexis be like, you were saying to size down too, and that's crazy. And I was like, I understand that's crazy, but my thing is like, here's my thing. Y'all, I have built my entire platform for years on being way too honest. Honest to a fault. And I'm not even talking like overshare. I'm talking if there is a company that I really don't like, I am not going to talk to you and tell you to sell their or buy their products. I'm going to tell them no. I have said no to countless brands because I personally would never wear them or use them. So I genuinely feel, I get this all the time as a response. They're like, oh, I love your honesty. Yeah, I am fucking honest. This is not a fucking skit, y'all. This is not a joke. This is so fucking real. And I've turned down things because I want to build my brand on being honest. I want people to trust me. Okay? So if I have told y'all to size down too, and y'all looking at me buck wild, it blows my mind. I'm like, what the fuck? And Alex was like, I mean, I know. She's my cousin. We are fucking related. I've been with her since she was born, right? And she goes, I know, but it just seemed crazy. So I'm trying not to be a little booty hurt by that, but I'm not gonna lie, y'all hurt my feelings. I was like, the fuck? I'm trying not to take it personal, but I'm literally like, do you not trust me? And it makes me second guess. I'm like, do I come off as not trustworthy? Because that's crazy. But hey, I understand you not wanting to take a leap. The denim is $80, and I want you to really understand and feel me when I say that shit, the denim, I have 5 pairs. I still wear them all the time. 5 pairs, y'all. They're mine. I'm never giving them back. They are mine. They're such good quality. It is, what do you call it? Competitive or whatever. Comparable, I'll say comparable to Curve Love denim from Abercrombie. I'm so serious. Matter of fact, I would not even be surprised if you told me, well, Abercrombie actually does buy this denim wholesale. They just put their name on it because that's how good it was. And I would say this in the live and still no one would buy it. And I would, like, live after live after live after live after live after live, no one would buy it. And I was like, anyways, congratulations to anyone who bought the denim because you have DM'd me and you've been like, no, this is insane. I'm like, I know. So if I ever do get a denim line, drink. Cheers. I digress. Let's go back to the pricing. Girl, I would be like, why is the vest, sorry, I think the vest was like $69.50. Now I can't even go on the website and look because they've kicked me out of the website. Also the items, I don't even think they're there anymore. Where's my phone? Can I look real quick? Yeah, so the vest that I am talking about was $69.90. $69.90. Now, the quality of the vest is beautiful, but this is the same kind of quality that you can find on Commence, and those are being sold at like $49.50. You know, $50. Let's say $50. So it's just I say just 20, but it's $20 more expensive, and on top of that, you're paying for shipping. So I'm sitting here understanding, like, even I would not want to buy a $70 sweater, and I would say, why is the price so high? And Mike would be like, well, we're just trying to make a profit. We have to pay so many people, and I'm like, oh, okay. That's the thing. Here's the thing. That's what he would say. We have to pay so many people. We're paying da 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 da. I'm like, oh, okay, all right. You know what? I'm not gonna pretend to understand that because I have my own jewelry line, but I pack the orders. I don't have a warehouse, so I don't have to pay a fee for that. I don't have to pay employees to pack it. I pack it. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's expenses that were a part of this boutique that weren't a part of. So I was like, okay, cool, whatever. And I would talk about the pricing all the time, especially when Alexis looked at me dead in my eye and she goes, you know, there's some things on your website that you can find on Amazon for $30. And she's like, I think that's why they're not selling. And I was like, T, that's a good fucking point. And I'd say this to Mike and Sarah, and they'd be like, okay. And I would ask them, why? Like, why? That's the answer that I got. So I just like kind of shrugged along, moved on. It just took it like that. Then okay, and mind you, if you do remember this era from August, September, I am live all the time. I would get comments during the live like, damn, you're live again? Like, facts. And here's the thing. When I tell you I'm doing a full-time job with my own Instagram, Alisha Revel, to take on this and to do a live, and all I want to do is just, I mean, it would be like 8 p.m., is eat my dinner and unwind. We're unable to do that. We end at like 9. We have another meeting. Let's say like the night ends around 10. By the time 10 rolls around, I'm a grandma. I am tired. I want to go to bed. So I don't get to have my me time, which is basically just me unwinding. And that is, the older that I've gotten, the more I realize how actually important that is to my fucking sanity. I mean, so for real, just at least 45 minutes. I ain't got no cues. Sitting on the couch and just scrolling or just binging. Like, that's it. That is so important to my sanity. And the fact that we're doing these live 3 times a week, sometimes 4. Sometimes I would drive to the studio and then come back. And I'm just talking like, even being in front of the camera and interacting and turning it on, it's still draining. And then having a meeting afterwards, it's just like, I mean, it's just draining all around. So I'm exhausted. Then I have to wake up early the next day and figure out how to do the schedule. Then, on top of, okay, so you just think, oh, well, she's just going live. It can't be that bad. Let's just say it's like 3 days a week. That's not that bad. No. Now I'm hearing, I mean, I would be in contact with Mike and Sarah every fucking day. We have a group chat. And they'd be like, we need content for Instagram. We need content. And since I kind of booted Sarah, I was like, stop, we can't post Canva stuff. She's like, well, I need photos. And I was like, okay, well, so I'll do a photo shoot. So I would have to set up a backdrop and take my own photos. I'm talking full hair, full makeup, taking my own photos. This would be like 4 or 5 hours. There were tons of pieces, like 20 pieces of clothing that I had to go through. And I'm the model and I'm the photographer. Like, da-da-da-da. Yes, Quincy did try to help me, but we got into this like buku argument once. And I was like, you know what? I am such a selfie queen. This is actually my forte. Don't worry about it. I will do this. And I did it from then on. So, yeah. Even with him, though, it was still hours, okay? So, mind you, this is a full day. And then I'm pushing aside my branded content for Alisha Revel, where I'm being paid. Okay, it's like a guaranteed paycheck. I have to push that aside because Mike and Sarah are hounding me for content. So then we do that. And then they're like, well, what about like a reel or something? So I'm like, okay. Also, it's hot as shit. I finally go downtown and shoot content for that. Not only am I shooting content for Revel Culture Boutique, I'm trying to shoot content for me. It is beyond draining. The next day I'm live. It's like too much. And so I say, hey guys, I need help with the Instagram. Like, I can't do this on my own. Plus, like, answering the DMs, oh my God, like, I literally, when I tell you guys, I haven't seen some of my friends in months. We also usually have a monthly game night. We haven't had one since June. No fucking joke. Also, the traveling to LA to go to the fashion districts, like, that's expenses out of my, oh my God, I just realized the paycheck that I actually got from this for 3 months of busting my fucking ass didn't even cover the expenses on my trips to LA. Wow. We'll get to that in a second. So during September and August and October, I am like, overwhelmed is an understatement. No joke. It was crazy. October rolls around. I have ACL first weekend. So this is first weekend of October. I have two brand deals actually, thank God, with ACL, and I have to go all 3 days. Then so ACL ends Sunday. Monday morning, I'm flying out to go to Vegas for my grandma's 80th, and we're staying there till Thursday. They wanted me to go live. No, wait. I couldn't even go live Friday because I'm being sent to ACL weekend 2, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Okay? So that was two weeks. Yeah, weekend 1, weekend 2. 2 weeks of like full time, whatever. Weekend 1, I send Sarah an audio, and I literally, when I tell you it was my breaking point this day, because I was putting so much pressure on myself to shoot content, to update the website, to give them stuff to work with, to go live, to go to LA and pick out the next products for the new launch. Like, I was doing so fucking much. And then on top of that, I had these brands that I was working with, and they're like, where's our content? And I'm like, so I'm also on my medication, and I'm just gonna flat out say it's Vyvanse. It's the generic brand of Vyvanse. I am ADD, as you know, and I have never not been on medication since I was probably like 19. Okay, so this is a decade. I've just always been on it. I'm like, it's shaky. I get stuff done. I love it, but I think what ADD makes me, and this could be another podcast, but what ADD makes me is like very type A, and I'm not type A. I am more purely genetically type B. You can look this up if you're like, what the fuck is she talking about, a type B? Go to TikTok, type in type B personality, and just watch some videos, and you'll be like, oh, because that's me. TikTok does such a good job of explaining it. So I am type B. But my ADD medication was trying to make me something that I'm not, and that gave me such anxiety. Like, if I didn't get the stuff done that I needed to get done, it would be like this building pressure on me, and I just felt so guilty and also overwhelmed to the point where I couldn't physically do anything. I was like, there felt like there was so much to do that I couldn't even focus on one thing. And then I would feel such overwhelming like shame and guilt, like these people are depending on me and I can't do it. I mean, it was wild. So, and then I'm like, ACL is looming. This was the Friday before weekend of ACL weekend 1. ACL is looming. I know that I'm flying out Monday, ACL weekend 2, and then also F1. Like, I haven't even touched on the last week of October, which is fucking F1 events, and they're all over the place. So, hold on. Oh, these allergies, bro. So, girl, hold on. See, I didn't take my ADD. I haven't taken my ADD medication since the first weekend of ACL, so the weekend of October. So, I'm having this breaking point on Friday, and I wish I could go back and watch my close friends list or whatever story, because I ranted for about a full fucking hour, and shout out to my close friends that watched the whole thing. But I vented much more about the Revel Culture Boutique than I am doing now. I feel like I've kind of just blacked out this part of that time in my life, because it was so manic, and the shit that was going on their end as well was so, it didn't even begin to get sketchy until then, to this Friday, the Friday that I'm talking about. I sent Sarah an audio, and I'm kind of just overwhelmed. I'm like, listen, I have no idea when the fuck I'm gonna be able to go live. I tell her everything that's going on in my life and like what's coming up, and I was like, I'm not gonna be back until like the third week of October, and I mean, I can ask Alexis to go live for me, just like, let me know what you need me to do, but I don't know if I'll be able to show up, which sucked ass to say. I don't like ever letting anyone down. I'm not too much of a people pleaser. It's just like, I've made a commitment to this for 3 months, and the fact that I am dying makes me feel like such a fucking failure. I'm being so for real. I can look back now and be like, no, babes, you were drowning. And that's fact. I was drowning. That's such a good word for it. I could barely breathe. My friends were like, Alisha, quit. When I finally was like, guys, I think I'm going to quit the boutique, everyone was like, oh, thank God. It wasn't even no, they were like, no, thank God. So anyways, I sent this audio to Sarah. She goes, it does sound like a lot's going on for right now. Things seem super overwhelming. I'll do my best to support you with whatever you need. Just let me know how I can help. The madness will eventually calm down. Okay, so it was the sweetest message. I'm tripping. That was the sweetest message ever. And I said, thank you. And then that was it. I will tell you this though. She says the madness will eventually calm down. Woo! I didn't even want to tell her, like, no, the madness is just beginning, because the holiday season for influencers is the craziest. This is where we actually make the most money, praise God, because January, February, March, bitch, you ain't seen a dime. So everything we make now is going into savings. I am not joking. How are we gonna pay rent? How are we gonna feed ourselves? We save it, period. If you happen to make a little, I'm speaking on myself. If I happen to make a little bit extra, little like $2,000 extra that I can treat myself with, that's typically when I go on vacation. So I know it sounds like, or looks like, I travel every year on my birthday, January 29th. It's really just a hard-earned and a well-deserved vacation for me, even though I'm still shooting content while I'm fucking out there. But hey, I'm trying to leave, okay? So she said that. I sent her a text a couple days later with she needed names. She's like, what do you want to name the items? Da, 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 da. Then I don't hear from her for another 4 days. Then I don't hear from her. Oh, then I text her 6 days later and I'm like, hey. Oh, I thought the camera stopped recording. I was like, hey, why did we raise the prices of the jeans? She goes, hey, which jeans are you referring to? I'm like, the new denim, the ones that I picked out. They're literally $10 more than the denim, than what they were before. And she goes, yeah, so we had in mind, and you can actually give me your 2 cents, but what we were going to do is this round is bump up the price just a bit so we could do bigger sales and promos on things and not get a huge hit from it. What do you think? Here's the thing. What I think is we haven't been in the market for longer than 2 months, long enough to mark up the denim without our customers who are now regular customers. These are people who repeat because the lives aren't doing shit. I would do a live, guys, and end it. I would do an hour live. Sold nothing. That was another blow to my like ADD medicated brain. I was like, oh my God, I suck. Also, week 3 after going live, so this is still like in August, Mike, we're having a cutie little meeting. He goes, yeah, by the way, I talked to our buyer and she's like, if we don't start moving merchandise faster, then she doesn't know, like the warehouse doesn't know how we're gonna be able to like stay there or type something like this, which is just wait, because that's fucking crazy to say. Now that I'm at the end of this and I'm looking back, that's fucking crazy to say to me. I believe he said that as kind of like a little scare tactic. Like the pressure was put on me to create more content. When I say like they were relying on me, they were also pressuring me to do it. Like it was a very much, hey Alisha, where the fuck is the content? And I'm like, like I'm doing so much by myself on top of this, and I was very much drowning. I'm not exaggerating. So I'm like, okay. So then they raised the prices, and I'm like, everyone who's been buying our denim, who I finally, like anyone who finally bought the denim, they're gonna notice that it's $10 more. And you think it's just gonna be cute to be like, oh, 40% off? Like, they're not stupid. Do you know what I mean? If I was a consumer and I noticed that after just 2 months of this website being active, I'd be like, the fuck? Because it's not cute. Also, we barely sell any products, and it's because the shit's so fucking expensive right now. Here's the thing that pissed me off about this, I'm gonna rant, is I begged you to lower the fucking prices, and then you guys bump the shit up. You gotta be kidding me. Also, when I would go to LA and pick out the shit whole prices, I talked to the buyer. She was like, you use anything you see on the tag, multiply by 2.5. So there are things like, you know what? I'll spill the tea here because I did read the contract and this is fine. The Paris crew neck sweater was wholesale for $16. It was on sale on the website for like $70. $16. If you multiply 16 by 2.5, I think how much? Hold up. What is $16 multiplied by 2.5?
$16 times 2 plus 1 over 2 is $40.
$40. And they had it on the website for like $69.90. Now, again, I've already asked them why, and they would say, well, we got to pay this, this, and this. And I'm not going to pretend to know the ins and outs of who and what it has to get paid. But I did recognize that it was like ridiculous, okay? And I fought for the prices to get lower, and they didn't want to lower them. And I'm like, okay. So then it's like 3 weeks. So it is the 3rd week of October. I'm back from Vegas I just did ACL, and I was thinking like, okay, I'm gonna hear from them before weekend 2 of ACL, because I don't even know if they knew I was doing, like, because I hadn't been guaranteed that I was doing weekend 2. It was just kind of like, maybe I will, but then I ended up doing it. So I still didn't hear from them. Mind you, I go from hearing from them every day of the week and seeing them in person to hearing nothing at all. And I'm like, this is weird. I tell Q this, and he's like, he's like, you haven't heard from him in 3 weeks? Even he's shocked, because he lives with me. Like, he understands. This has been drowning me. The conversations and the interactions have been daily. So I'm like, yeah, hold on. Let me make sure I'm still recording. And finally I texted him, I'm like, hey guys, I haven't heard from you guys in a while. I just wanted to touch base, like what's going on? And Mike responds, hey, we just wanted to give you a little break for family time so you can like hang out with your family. And I was like, oh, okay. Well, when are we going to be doing lives? You know, like, we've got the product in. When's the product coming in? When are my samples coming in? And when can we start doing lives again? And he's like, we can do a live like on Sunday. And then the night before, mind you, it's been very rare that I did a live by myself. They always wanted to be there. I preferred doing it by myself because it's just like more comfortable. It feels more genuine. But they always wanted to be there. And it was like, ugh, you know, kind of like, it was like more of an ordeal. I don't know. It wasn't like, ugh. It was just like, man, I just wish I could do it by myself. But hey, whatever. It really wasn't that big of a deal. But the night before, actually, I go live for the first time in like 3 weeks, a month, I don't know. Sarah texts me and she goes, oh, by the way, Dan and I aren't going to be able to make it tomorrow. Let me know if you need anything. And I'm like, okay, so I don't hear from you guys for 3 weeks, and then you're bouncing? You're not even going to the live? That's crazy. So I send a text after the live, and I'm like, hey, I think we should by the way, I realized at this point that I am not going to continue with the boutique because I'm fucking drowning. I can't find any help. Also, if I was to find anyone to do help for the social media, like a content creator or what is it called? Social media strategist or social media manager, I was gonna have to pay them out of my own pocket. And mind you, I still hadn't gotten a paycheck yet, okay? I still have not gotten paid. It's been 3 months. And I'm like, oh, Jesus, like, this is really taking every ounce of me. Not only have I not been able to focus any of my energy into Revel Culture earrings, which are my babies, I haven't even been able to do a podcast episode in months. Like, what the fuck? I haven't seen my friends. Like, I barely have time for Quincy. Like, what the fuck, okay? And now I have to pay, and what the fuck? So I'm like, the second I decided I wasn't gonna do it anymore, I felt like a weight just literally go off of my shoulders, and I was like, okay, this is the right thing to do, clearly. What is it? God will never give you peace of something that you're not meant to be doing, or like someone in a situation you're not meant to be in. You will never have peace in it. Something will constantly be happening. That's how you know. So the second I had decided I was not going to do it anymore and I had peace, I was like, oh, fuck, okay, well, now I know that was actually a valid decision. So they don't join me for the live. I text them and I'm like, hey, maybe we should have a, you know, so it's like the end of the 3 months, maybe we should have a meeting and touch base and see where we're at. I'm going to have this meeting and I'm going to say, hey, I don't even want to do this anymore. But I'm actually open-minded still. And I'm like, if we want to figure out maybe like 2 lives a week or 1 live a week, because we don't even have that many products, that's fine. But the way that it starts is Mike and Sarah are there. And they're like, Mike's like completely leading the conversation, completely bulldozing anything that I have to say. He's like, so we just like, what are you thinking? Like, where are you at right now? And I was like, well, you know, I'm excited to get the products in. What about you? He goes, you know, well, we've talked to Camille, we've talked to the warehouse. He's like one like this. We talked to the buyers, and we just want to know where you are. And I'm like, okay, well, where's Camille at? He goes, no, we want to know where you're at. I guess I had a choice. So I could have really like dug my heels in and been like, no, you say it. But it was literally like a no. I mean, this was the conversation. I was like, no, you say it. No, you say it. No, you say it. No, you say it. But he would not say it. So I said what I basically just said to y'all, and I was like, my heart is not in it, and I would have to hire help in order for me to really get through with this, and I can't find any help. Also, I can't afford help right now. Like, that's not, I'm paying editors and like everything else. Like, I can't afford this. And he goes, yeah, that's what we figured. So, you know, we're just thinking we're gonna do like 3 more lives. And he like explains the logistics. He literally already has the shit mapped out. And I was like, oh, I hadn't even gotten a chance. Like, I had just decided that I couldn't do this anymore. And this was not an easy decision for me to come to. This took me swallowing, like, I felt like a failure. And what I realize now, because they have their whole new website up. When I fucking tell you, the vest that I was talking about earlier that was on sale for $69.90, it is now on sale for $34.95. You're fucking joking, right? Now, the way that there's like 150 items on this site, their new site, I now realize that they had this planned since October 1st. I think 2nd, actually, that was the first day of ACL. October 2nd. So while I'm going to ACL but not really enjoying it because in the back of my mind is Revel Culture Boutique, going to Vegas in the back of my mind is Revel Culture Boutique, going to ACL weekend 2 in the back of my mind is going to F1. Like, it's always like a black cloud in the back of my mind. The stress, the shame, the guilt, the pressure to do this is in the back of my fucking mind. They've already moved the fuck on. Matter of fact, in September, they said, you know what, we had like peaks and valleys throughout after August. Okay, so September was like up and down, up and down. We had some things that sold really well, some things I didn't. It is what it is. We just sold a lot when we finally had big sales. And you wanna know why? It's because when you put something that's $70 on 40% off, it's finally the fucking affordable price that I've been begging you to set it at. Like, why do you think we did so fucking good when it was 40% off? Are you fucking kidding me, guys? They're like, wow, we should really do a sale like this more often. Yeah, and then when I tell you, and I saw the denim was $10 more, and she was like, well, we figured we'd rack up the prices so that we wouldn't take such a big hit when it was, no, like, that's how you're not gonna get people to buy anything. You have finally made it affordable and made it like what people, I swear to God, guys. And mind you, this is just like wholesale pieces. They weren't whitelisting it. By the way, if you want to get like a whitelisting license, that's when you put, if I bought like this and put Revel on the back and did like a stitching or custom, like for my jewelry. My jewelry isn't just, shit, I'll buy it. I like design the things. I'm like, they'll send me little samples. I'm like, but can we move this? Can we adjust that? I've got a little like graphic designing thing in my iPad that I taught myself how to learn. Can we make it with this metal? Can we make it like this? Like all of it. It's specifically designed. So these clothings that I'm talking about, this is not like specifically designed clothing. It doesn't have my like Revel on it. It's not been, and I was gonna say, I think it's called whitelisting, something like that. No, is it whitelisting? I don't know. $10,000 to get a license to do that. Like, it's expensive. So then I would understand if it's $70. You know what I'm saying? This is wholesale stuff that you can find on Amazon for $30. Bro. So now, their website, oh my God, the day after my final live, this is literally, like, I'm telling you, so much shit just started to clunk into place when I had the final meeting call with them, and then especially the final live. I heard nothing from them. When I had the photo shoot, oh my God, so ADD, I'm so fucking ADD, I'm sorry. So in September, they were like, okay, well, the products we're gonna get for October, let's just do like minimal. Okay, let's just get like 6 items, and we won't even get like bulk. We'll just get like 1 packet of it. So like when you buy a packet of denim, you'll get like 1 of each size or something. Or if you buy a packet of the crew neck sweater, by the way, it's like 2 smalls, 2 mediums, 2 larges, 1 extra large. That's a pack. That's like, we'll just do that, and when we sell out, and it'll be great. And I was like, okay, beautiful. The way that I'm laughing is because this was said to me September. October 2nd is the day that started me not hearing from them for 3 weeks. And I'm going to assume, I don't know for sure, but I'm going to assume because I've seen the evidence, that during these 3 weeks, they moved on from me completely. They set up this whole website without me. They were waiting for me to do my final live so that they could do this on their fucking own, which good for them. At the end of the day, we are so not aligned. Oh my God, I haven't even given you like the tea yet. But we are so not aligned with how we would run our business and what we even want on the site. For example, you can go through their sweaters right now. Let's do shop collection. Honestly, go off Sarah for these graphics. I hope they do well, but I'm so happy to not be a part of it. We've got a Christmas print hoodie for $36. We've got striped checkered checkered turtleneck, $47.95, so $48. All of this is way more affordable than the stuff that was on mine. Cap sleeve sweater, $34. Star sleeve top, $33.80. Long sleeve jumpsuit. I mean, and I'm talking hundreds of items. Where I was only allowed to get 6, they were getting hundreds of items for this. They were already moving on, planning on moving on. So while I'm literally sitting here, like I said, for 3 weeks, actually 4 weeks, with a black cloud over my head, like drowning, they are already moving on. While I'm breaking my back, going to all these like brands, and I'm paid to go to these things. Like I need to go. I have to go. Okay, to shoot content for them as well. I'm doing a full-on photo shoot for Revel Culture Boutique with my friend Alexis downtown. Like we are changing in the car and like sweating bullets and doing the things. The photos come out so well. I'm like, hey guys, I send the photos to Mike and Sarah, and they're like, great. Why? Because they already moved on. Hundreds and hundreds of items, priced exactly how the fuck I wanted them to be priced. I'm sure there's a logical reason. Like, this is me ranting. This is me venting. I'm sure that there's a very logical reason for why this is what it is. Ultimately, at the end of this day, we were not aligned. One of the things that, there's just so many things that pissed me off. But Mike himself was just a little sketch about some things. I would ask questions, and he would be like, oh, like, give me a one-word answer, and be like, yeah, and then, like, move on. So, for example, I have samples, and I'm like, okay, so what are these samples? Because, okay, for me, if I buy jewelry, I will buy, it's got a wholesale price on it, praise God, hello. But the samples that I buy for me are, like, full price. I buy them, they come to me, but I get to keep them, I get to shoot in them, they're my content stuff. So for the samples, that's what I'm thinking. The clothes, that's what I'm thinking this is as well. It's not. I asked Mike, so I get the boxes of the samples. He goes, keep the tags and keep the packages because we gotta return them. And I have never had to return samples before. Okay, now jewelry, clothing is very different. So I'm like, oh, okay, well, why? And he's like, I don't know. It's the warehouse thing. Like we just have to return it. And I was like, oh, okay. And then after about a month, after the first month. So when we sold out the cheetah dress, there was no point in me sharing it in the live anymore. So I backed it back up and put the tag back on and added some other, samples to the box, and I gave it to him. I was like, here you go. He goes, oh, we can add this back to the inventory. And I was like, wait a minute. You're selling this dress? And he goes, yeah. And I was like, Mike, you can't do that. Like, I have shot in this dress. I have worn this dress to 2 events. It smells like me and perfume. And like, I've worn this multiple occasions for an hour on lives. Like, you can't sell this. Also, some of the items I actually had to wash because I wore them out. I sweated in them. I mean, it's hot in August, and now I'm on downtown shooting content. I'm sweating in this stuff. And once you wash it, you could tell that it's not brand new anymore. Hello, you can't sell this. You can't sell. I was like, Mike, you can't do that. And he goes, oh, well, if you think it's unsellable, then you can keep it. But the fact that he was doing it before I said anything, before I found out about it, like I said, we are just unaligned. We're unaligned with the graphics. We're unaligned with what we had in mind. Do I think that they're sketchy people? Absolutely not. Do I think that there are some sketchy things that were happening? Yeah, and mainly it's because of the lack of communication. That's where this uneasy feeling comes from. So allow me to rant, allow me to like huff and puff and blow a house down. But ultimately what it was, I'm gonna give people a benefit of the doubt always. That's just who I am. The lack of communication has left me with this feeling. That's all it was. I don't hear from them for 3 weeks. I'm actually misled about the samples. Okay, we'll just say that. You guys aren't telling me like, hey, we can tell that you're here. I would have so appreciated this so fucking much if they'd have been like, we can tell that you're drowning. We just think we're gonna move on. But he made me say it in the Zoom call. He made me say, I don't think I can do this anymore. My heart's not in it. And he goes, yep, that's what we thought you were gonna say. So we're gonna da-da-da-da-da. When really, they were already planning to move on for weeks before this without telling me. And I don't know, I don't know if they thought that my heart really wasn't in it. It wasn't in it until month 3 when I realized how much work I was doing and how much of my time and the overwhelming thing. And honest to God, since then, since October 2nd, I have not been on any ADD medication at all whatsoever. I do feel like my personality is coming back, and I do think it was not helping the situation whatsoever because the pressure was enhanced because of the medication, because it was trying to make me a type A person, and I'm just not. I thrive when I'm spontaneous. I thrive being a type B. It is what it is. But they didn't communicate. They didn't communicate with me at all. I really don't know why, but it sucks. It sucks. And when I say, like, I mean, there's other, like, little side notes that I've, like, throughout the months that happened, like, little side stories or, like, complaints that I've had. And I would say it to Quincy, or I'd say it to my friends, and they'd be like, Alisha. And even Q has such a good read on people. And there were some things that he would point out to me and be like, I don't really know if this is a good thing, and da-da-da-da. Oh, another thing that I failed to mention was, when I finally did get paid, after 3 months of the most stressful work I've ever done in my life, wow, I actually mean that. That's crazy. Wow. I only made $1,500, so that's $500 a month. And if that was my only full-time job, the amount of work that I put into that doesn't even pay for the roof over my head. I don't even put food on the table. Crazy. And I found out was when Mike said, we're going to split it 50-50, you're going to take your 50, and then out of my 50, I'm going to pay the warehouse, the buyer, Sarah, all the things. And remember, I was like, well, how are you going to make a profit? That doesn't make any sense. He goes, oh, well, I'll make a profit eventually. That's not what happened. He paid everyone first, and then what was left, he split with me 50-50. And I don't feel like arguing or like bringing that up, just because I'm so ready to move on. Do you know what I mean? And again, there's two sides to every story. I wouldn't say that I don't fucking know. Here's the thing. I don't want to sit here and be like, well, it was perfect, and kind of like beat myself down and stuff like that, because that's old shit that I used to do, where it would be kind of like, well, maybe I did deserve it, you know, da-da-da-da-da. But I'm grown. I've been through therapy, and my truth is my truth. And everything that I've said is like what has actually happened. So I'm so used to gaslighting myself out of my feelings. Sort of God, you don't even have to do that. I would do that for you if you were a toxic person. I'm so glad I don't have any toxic people in my life anymore, because the only people that are in my life are the ones who are like, whoa, 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 what are you doing? My best friends are like, no, this is your intuition talking. You should listen to it. And like, you know what I'm saying? Everyone in my life is like, no, that was weird. I know that when I do have my own clothing line, one day, who knows? It's probably going to be cheeky and a little small, but I'm going to put my heart into it. I'm going to love everything that I've got. I'm going to love the social media, the content that I come up with. I'm going to put like only what's the best out there for y'all. And I already know it. It's going to be amazing. I can't wait. It's going to be so good. But this wasn't aligned with everything that I would do. Like, I would also never sell an item of clothing that had been worn for a whole fucking month and smelled like it had been worn for a month. I would never put that in a package and send that to someone. Ever. Never. Would never do that. I would take the L. I don't, oh my God, it blows my mind. It blows my fucking mind. I've made more of a profit with my cheeky, cutie little jewelry line than I did with the clothing boutique. Regardless, lessons have been learned. I do not see this as a failure. I know I was feeling like a failure, but I take myself out of the feelings, and I'm like, it wasn't though. Like, you're not a failure. I am so proud of the work that I put into that boutique. You can't tell me nothing, bro. I was drowning, and I'm like, wow, never do I ever want to do that again, but I also know that I am capable of it for a long period of time. I'm like days and days and days and days in a row. I am capable of working from 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. Do I ever want to do that long term? Fuck no, bruv. But I can do it, right? Also, it's pushed me to be more creative in ways that I've never had to be. I've been really comfortable with my content, but now, I mean, being in that situation, being forced to come up with everything by myself and for myself and film it on double time made me so fucking creative. Also, the fashion district, that right there is such a learning experience. I do now know how clothing lines come to be. It actually is so much easier than I thought it could ever be. I never knew anything about this whatsoever. Nothing. Now I'm blown away by clothing companies, by clothing, I know how they do it now. And the profit that they make is wild. It's not the reason why I would ever do anything. It would be denim, guys. Maybe even a cheeky little blazer because I fucking love blazers. But it would be denim, and I would make it with my whole heart because I would want every single girl in the world to wear my denim and be like, this is my favorite pair of denim. I'm so serious. So it would be that. It wouldn't be for profit, but I now know it's not that hard. Like, truly anyone can do this. You just have to have some money, girl. Take out that loan. Take out the fucking loan because that is what it is. But go to the fashion districts in New York. Go to the fashion district in LA. Educate yourself. Go back. Get the business cards, like all the things. Just educate yourself. Figure it out. It's not that hard. And I never, ever, ever would have known this if I hadn't taken the leap at the clothing boutique. I don't think I was like so afraid of looking like a loser, honestly, if I failed, but I don't think I look like a loser. I don't think I look like a loser at all because I'm so much smarter in just 3 fucking months. Wow. I feel like I did a whole college course. Like I got a master's degree in some shit. I mean, I would even sit in on the accounting meetings because I wanted, I'm like, how do we divvy up this, and this? You know what I mean? Because I didn't go to college. Like, I didn't take any classes for this. No one has ever taught me. No one in my family has ever started a business from the fucking ground up. I have no mentors. Would I love one? Yeah. But I literally was like itching to learn. Like, I was like, they would talk to me about stuff and I'm like, I just need to watch. Like, I'm a fly on the wall. Just let me watch. And I really appreciated that. Overall, it's not a fail. It's a wonderful experience. I'm so glad I did it. I'm glad that I have my time back. I'm glad that I can sit here and record a podcast with you. I'm so sorry that this is such an hour-long rant. But honestly, I've been MIA for 4 months, unless you follow me on social media. But for the podcast, I've been gone. I literally just disappeared. I'm not even done with the season. And I had no energy to sit. I still have studio hours, guys. But I wanted to be here in the comfort of my own home and just yap with y'all. So thank you guys for joining. I think this is over an hour long, and I apologize so fucking much. 1 hour and 6 minutes. Gag. We're going to edit some things down. Cheeky. Let's do one more little drink. Finn is snoring. He says goodnight and that he loves you. Yeah. There's a bookie. He's listening now, so he's not snoring anymore. But y'all, thank you so much for joining me. We're going to get right back into the podcast like it never left, honey. We're going to do another Ask Alisha. We're going to tell the baby daddy story with Quincy. If you saw the TikTok, if you haven't, your jaw's on the floor and you're like, excuse me. With Alisha, going to be a stepmommy. Is Alisha a stepmommy? Girl, there's secrets that I keep close to my motherfucking chest. And y'all don't even know about it, okay? People think I'll overshare. I don't share enough. Okay? The tea is tea. What else? What else do we have going on here? Oh, and I want to do like a holiday gift guide. I think that'll be next because it's almost December. Where the cool girls are shopping. What's on the Christmas? What's on the wish list for the girls, the guys, the dads, the moms, the brothers, the boyfriends, the husbands, all the things. Okay, we'll do a end of year wrap up. I'm talking like beauty favorites, fashion favorites, home good favorites, all the things, okay? And yeah, we're gonna keep it going. So I love you guys so much. I'm so happy to have my time back, to be able to sit here with a glass of wine and just chit chat with y'all like you're in the room with me. I'm not gonna lie, it feels really good. I miss this. I miss this a lot. So thank you guys for joining. I love you so much. I will see you in the next episode. Mwah.